After the almost, the rain hits the window, few drops falling on my back. I clutch my back against me, feeling cold, a little more while on the bus stops. I get down walking fast before the rain picks up. By the time I reach home, water dripping from my head, no one was home. Ayosh was at school, and my mom was supposed to pick him up. I drop my bags on bed, get some clothes, and go take a shower. I lay on my bed with my journal open to a new page. Dear Diary, today I went to national selections of swimmers. He was there, the best as always. I saw him from the stands, stretching, warming up. His shoulders looked tense, his jaw clenched. Of course he would be. This wasn't just any race. If he made it through this round, he officially was on the national team. His dream. The announcer called his name and the entire poolside seemed to pause for a heartbeat. Just long enough for him to push his goggles down and step onto the platform. So calm, so focused. God, how does he do that? Then the whistle blew, and just like that, he was gone. Into the water, like he belonged there, more than he'd ever did on land. I swear I forgot to breathe. He cut through the pool like it was in air, but not water. Lane 5, always lane 5, his strokes were perfect, powerful, and angry, like he had something to prove, but maybe he did. When he touched the wall, the scoreboard is up. First, again, of course. Everyone in the stadium stood up to cheer. Hannah stood up clapping her hands and saying something stupid. God, I almost thought he didn't make it. He looked up just for a second and smiled, not at me, at the stadium, filled with people, and maybe that's what broke me a little. He doesn't even know I was there. He doesn't know I've watched every race, memorized his records, his routines, his stupid pre-race rituals. He doesn't know I wrote a whole poem about the way water wraps around him like it was made for him. He doesn't know I cheered for him silently, fingers crossed in my jacket pocket. He doesn't know me, but today I knew him, and that's enough. Chapter 1. Chapter 2, Anya. I wasn't planning a sneak out, it just happened. The sky looked too pretty to ignore, cloudless still, the kind of night that begged to be captured. So I grabbed my camera, hoodie, and notebook and walked quietly through the back gate of school, where the pool shimmered like something had been stolen from a dream. It was stupid, maybe, but I just needed a moment, somewhere quiet, somewhere mine. The moonlight hit, water perfectly soft ripples glowing silver. I knelt by the edge, adjusting my shutter speed, holding my breath to get the shot just right. Click, click. I leaned forward a little, trying to focus my reflection. I wasn't anywhere near falling in, but okay, maybe I was leaning in a little too far. And then arms, strong, fast, panic-driven arms. Someone grabbed my waist and yanked me so hard, I nearly dropped my camera. I flailed and shrieked a little, okay, a lot, and stumbled into my chest of a very tall, very warm, very shoeless boy. I looked up and my brain went offline. Krish Kuno, my heart forgot to beat properly. His face was a blur, panic in his eyes, hair sticking to his forehead, chest rising and falling like he'd just run a mile. What the hell? I gasped, pulling back from him. He looked just as confused as me. I thought you were about to jump. Into the pool I blinked with a camera and a hoodie at 10 p.m. He paused, maybe. I stared. He stared, the silence stretched, and then against all logic, I said, "Are you always this dramatic, or is it just a swimmer thing?" To my horror, he laughed, actually laughed. And something about the sound made me feel weird. Good weird, like annoying weird. Why is he smiling at me like that? You're Anya, right? he said, and still laughed. My brain exploded. He knew my name. I replied as calmly as I could manage. My voice cracked a little. Kill me. Unfortunately, he muttered with a crooked smile. I had no idea what to say, so I pointed at the water. Can I still take that picture, or are you gonna body slam me again? He raised his hands like a criminal. All yours, sneaky photographer. Just maybe don't lean in like you're about to swan dive. I rolled my eyes, but I was smiling. He started to walk away, but paused. You take good pictures, he asked. I blinked. I tried. He nodded. Show me sometime. And then he was gone just like that. And I just stood there, heart in my throat, still not sure I imagined it all. Krish. I saw her by the pool and panicked. 1 second I was finishing laps, headphones on, mind cleared from everything, including nationals, pressure, and fake smiles I'd have to wear tomorrow. The next, I spotted a figure by the edge of the water. She was leaning forward, still, too still. I didn't think it was just... I was just moved. Grabbed her, yanked her back, fully convinced that she was about to throw herself in. Turns out, nope. She was just taking photos with expensive-looking camera at night. I almost gave us both a heart attack for nothing, and then I saw her face properly. Big brown eyes with a wide surprise, cheeks flushed. Hoodie too big, Anya liar. I'd seen her around at school a few times, always quiet, camera always hanging from her neck like an extra limb. Never talking unless needed. The kind of girl you'd miss in the crowded hallway unless you looked closely. And now, here she was, calling me dramatic and looking at me like I was a puzzle she didn't know how to solve. You're Anya, right? I asked. She looked startled, like she didn't think I knew, like she didn't think anyone should know. That bothered me then more than I expected. I teased her a bit because that's easier than being honest. I asked her about her photos, told her to show me sometime. I meant it, but I didn't wait for a reply. I just walked away, wet footprints trailing behind me, heart beating weirdly in my chest. Because here's the thing. She didn't look at me like everyone else does. She looked at me